So today's video is going to be around the Bosch Gen 4 smart system, and unfortunately for me I've had a few issues with it. So I bought a bike in November, a Mondraker Crafty RR23. First issue was getting it all set up because everything's done through apps these days, and with the Crafty having what's called a mine system, then I really struggled to get that to work. Turns out that it was an issue with the mine system, and Mondraker have replaced that under warranty, which is good. Since then it's had a big update, and I've updated it through my phone, which is absolutely amazing you can do that. And one of the features is that it puts the bike lock on, so if your phone isn't in the vicinity of the bike and it can't detect it, the bike doesn't work. Which I thought, great, it's a good idea. So off I went to Mondraker, turns my phone on, turns the bike on, wouldn't recognise it. So what it needed was a Wi-Fi connection. So luckily I was at Degler, went to the hub, got my Wi-Fi connection, and the bike then released itself. But if I hadn't have had a Wi-Fi connection, I couldn't have ridden that bike. Then we have the navigation system. So again, unless you have a Wi-Fi system, or I'm guessing a very strong signal, it won't start, it won't pick up at all. So anyway, mentioned this to my local dealer. They're aware of the lock thing and they're working on the fix. However, that isn't the best. So that's a couple of the issues with the software. I don't understand why somebody as big as Bosch can't give the system to somebody like me, who isn't a professional, who doesn't have all the tools, who lives in the real world, to experience the real world problems. Because I picked up on this within a couple of days, and I'm sure it's not a difficult fix. The other thing that I can't understand why Bosch doesn't do it is, on the Bosch app, put a troubleshooter. So if the blue lights on the left of the display go up and down, the bike doesn't turn on. Usually it means one of the connections is loose. I found that out on one of my rides. The bike just turned itself off. It wasn't until I was somewhere bumpy. I had to go for a few miles under my own steam. Then I met a mate of mine who was like, oh yeah, just check these wires. Put the wire in, bike worked. But it was saved all that. So that was the first time that the bike let me down. So onto the actual main problems that I'm having. Is that started a ride, put all the apps on so that we had everything recording. Hiya guys, you okay? You right? And then when I put my helmet on, put my gloves on, went back to the bike had turned itself off. So I'm like, oh, did I turn it on, did I not? Anyway, did about a mile, bike turned off again, turned back on, and then just got progressively worse, where the bike was turning on and then straight off. It was absolutely no continuity with it. It just decided that it was turning on, turning off. So that was a hell of a long ride for me to get back under my own power, where the bike just wouldn't work. And I'm out with two e-bikers, so not only did it wreck my ride, the fact that we always would turn around and help each other back meant that it screwed their ride up as well. So that was a major one. So that was the Sunday. On the Monday, took the bike into the place where I bought it, Empty Monster. The young mechanic there, absolutely nothing but praise for this guy. He's really professional, very polite, knowledgeable, listens when you talk to him, and proceeded to put it on the diagnostic. It had his words were, a load of faults. So he cleared the faults, Then went for a ride on the bike, just around the workshop and stuff, and it was fine. So he said, is it okay if I take it out on a bit of a longer ride? Which, absolutely, you need to test these things out. So he took it on a longer ride, and the bike cut out twice on him. Exactly the same, the blue lights just come on and going off. So left it with him. This is on the Monday. I had a trip to the lakes planned, and I was thinking, right, this is going to be some sort of a major issue if it doesn't get fixed. Left it with them. Contacted me and said, look, what Bosch are saying is it needs a battery loom. Luckily we've got a test one, so what I'll do is I'll swap that out, which he did, and then rang me up and said, right, seems to be fine, come and pick it up. So I came and picked the bike up. Lasted 2 rides. So did 2 rides on it, and it was faultless. There was not any issues with it at all. Just to sort it out for a night ride on the Monday, and I plugged it in the day before to charge it. The charger had gone off, had the display, which would normally mean that it's charged. Anyway, transpires that it had stopped charging. It started at 21%, stopped at 44%, and then wouldn't turn on again. That's me majorly naffed off that I'm not going to be riding. So texted on to MTB Monster and chatting with the warranty guy. He had a look at it, but he couldn't fix it. He said, right, leave it with us, Mark. So left it with him. Got a plan for the Friday. I was going to go and pick the bike up, make sure it was okay, go and ride at Gizzy, make sure it's okay, and then go and see my daughter. Anyway, he rings me up Thursday night. Yeah, we think we've sorted it, Mark. Come and pick it up tomorrow, take it for a test ride, see what you think. So Friday morning, getting my stuff on, gives me a ring. We found another issue with it, Mark. It's saying internal battery has got an issue. So anyway, he very kindly took one out of the showroom, popped in the bike, and it didn't cure it. So now what it's saying is there's something wrong with the charging port. So okay, they don't have a charging port, so that's going to be the middle of next week by the time they can get one, which again is me not riding, which again, if you know me, this is what I do. Biking's what I do. I don't do anything else but biking, and if I can't bike, I get very cranky and naffed off. Anyway, so I think my brother's got some gears here somewhere. So went in to see him because I would much rather speak to someone face to face than over the phone. And I said, right, the situation is this. I absolutely don't think the bike is able to do what I want it to do. It's not fit for purpose. Its purpose is that I turn it on and it works. I absolutely get that you can have problems with it, but this is a brand new bike from November, and this isn't the first time I've had issues with it. And so I said, right, I've looked at the rest of your range. The majority of them are on Bosch. I absolutely do not want Bosch. I know that in my opinion, and if you think I'm wrong, please comment in the comments box below, but the Shimano motor's not as good. The battery certainly isn't as big, but I'm that naffed off with the Bosch system that I will swap it for a Shimano system. That's how bad it is. The trek rail me and my bro have. Apart from the new motors every now and again, there's been no issues. And now I've got this where I've got loads of issues. The biggest issue is it don't bloody work. So it'd be interesting to see whether you guys have had some experiences, whether I've just got a lemon, whether I'm being a bit hasty, who knows. So absolutely fair play to Monster. Can't recommend these guys enough. They've been absolutely superb. The young lad in the garage, he knows who he is. The warranty guy, he knows who he is. And the owner. To be fair, they've let me this Orbea low power rise thing, so just so I can get out. Although it's not my first choice of bike, absolutely thank you for giving me the opportunity to get out. Hence the reason that I'm swapping bikes, because I'm knackered on this. But the fact is that my bike is still in the garage. Still can't ride it, and it's looking like the middle of next week before they get the part for it, and then who knows if something else is going wrong. And this is my problem. You can get battery anxiety with these bikes, but you can learn to manage it. But the anxiety I have is it just going to stop working? And I can't look past that. And that's why I, for one at the moment, cannot recommend the Bosch Gen 4 smart system. So just a quick overview of why I am on e-bikes. It's different reasons. I think a lot of them are quite similar. Whether my reason is, I'm not sure. But I had a guy rides with me called Dave Cocker and Mark Grimshaw, and they are the most enthusiastic people about anything they've got, and they both got e-bikes. And I've never even ridden one. I'm out riding on a ride with Dave Cocker, and he actually was in this vicinity that we're in here, and he kept badgering me, have a go on it Mark, have a go on it Mark, and I'm like, no Dave, I'm absolutely fine as I am. And I wish I would have kept to that ethos, because sure enough we came to a section up some rock slabs, and if you can clear that on a normal bike, you've done well. So anyway, gets to this slab, climb, clears it, dead suited, turns around, this Dave Cocker's going up it like it's not there, and I'm like, what the hell is this e-biking thing? Dave Cocker, or DC as we call it, he's like, yeah, just have a go on this Mark, you'll love it. Anyway, jumps on this e-bike, went down to the bottom of these rock slabs, turned around, went up, and like they were nothing, and I was like, what the hell, this is something different. This isn't mountain biking, and I've been mountain biking for way over 25 years then. I mean, my background is I've raced NAMs, which is nationals. I've done what was called the Konas, which were 100k 1 mile loops around Wales, and I was way in the top 10% of the country doing that. And I'm like, this is something different, and something different is really what I could do with, because I've kind of done everything on a normal mountain bike. So next news, traded my bike in, went and bought a Canevo. Absolutely loved it. Did 250,000 feet of climbing and descending in 1 year, which is absolutely mental for me. The biggest thing though is, mainly 99.9% of the time I ride with my brother, this guy here, and because back then I was quite a bit fitter than him, he'd be getting to the top of the hill knackered, I'd have rested, which meant then I'd be fit for the downhill, he'd still be knackered, so we couldn't keep up on the ups and the downs. After getting the e-bikes, massive difference. Now he's in a position where he's pushing me all the time, and that is so much better for me than waiting at the top, waiting at the bottom, which obviously it just naffs you off a little bit. Not that I'd ever tell him that, and he must have been naffed off thinking, bloody hell, I'm knackered, and he's off again. And e-bikes are a great leveler. I keep saying this, but it's a different thing than mountain biking. It absolutely is. Love it when they're working, and that's the thing. So a big shout out to MTB Monster anyway. In no way, shape or form blaming them. They've all been brilliant throughout the whole thing of what's been going on, and they've let me a bike this weekend. Again, many thanks. It's a carbon or better rise. I'm struggling a bit on the ups, I have to say. Not used to the lack of assistance after riding e-bikes for the past 5 years. But we've got to a flat bit and it's fine. It's fine. It just seems like it's the ups, which is the reason you have an e-bike. But we'll see what it's like on the down, because it is mega light. The carbon version, I'm being told it's a 325 battery, which is like, you know, it's less than half the size of the one that I run. So I'll be interested to see how we do for lasting today. I'm not doing a big ride. It's just because I just don't know the bike. It's not mine. I won't be doing any stupid drops on it or anything, because that's just not fair. But it's interesting to try one. Would I buy one? No chance. Okay, so that was the top of Gorpals, and the end climb is pretty steep, and because it wasn't like a slog like the rest of Gorpals was, it actually flew a bit. I'm quite surprised really. I think for me it's going to be tour on the flat, boost on the ups. I'll be interested to see what sort of mileage it gets, because it doesn't have a readout. Paul from Monster was saying that it tells you at 30 it goes red, so hopefully it's not going to go red for ages. But yeah, I was quite surprised. I'm going to take it easy down here because it ain't my bike, and it's just not fair. It's pretty damn wet. And no more guards. Epic fail. I can't see a thing. But yeah, the bike feels nice. And very light. It's very light. Yeah, I can't see a thing again. Don't want to be absolutely flat out down there, but yeah. Definitely feels more like an analog bike than an e-bike, which is absolutely fine. Just weird. Jesus, I can't see a freaking thing. It's interesting to split between the two bikes. So this is the Wayne's Trek Rail 9.8 XT, and it feels double the weight. It's got twice the power, don't get me wrong, but it's a very different feel. That Orbea, which I'm warming to a little bit if I'm honest, is a mega light bike. It just doesn't give you that that speed up the hills with my level of fitness and my weight. I mean, I'm a chunky lad, I'm 200 pound, so for me absolutely need a full fat one. But as for the bike itself, yeah, it's really nice. It's a shame they can't make a bike that light, just like that, but with a 750 battery and 85 newton meters. Well, we can wish. Some sort of conclusion to this this piece on the Bosch Back in November 2022, a mate of mine was after a new bike, and he said to me, I don't want a new one, absolutely don't want a new one, because they're just so complicated, the stuff's going to go wrong with them. And I was like, okay, and absolutely seems completely true. And Wayne's bloody wireless gears aren't fantastic. And it just seems that if I go back to when I first started biking on a steel hardtail with cantilever brakes and triple chains at the front, what used to go wrong, and it wasn't much. And then fast forward 30 years and we've got to the stage where realistically the only time you can fix these bikes is taking it to a dealer. So if I'm planning a trip to Fort Bill, what am I going to do if it goes wrong? And it's just really playing on my mind. Sometimes it's more complicated better. I mean, the features that the Bosch system's got, absolutely fantastic, some of them, but do you need them? I mean, I'm riding the bike today, this old Bayek's got no display, don't know what the range is. I'm having any less fun, not at all. It's great that it has it, but do you really need it? And this is, I think, a sad way sometimes is we just have more and more features for the sake of having more and more features, and that's what it feels like with the Bosch. Make it simple, please, make it reliable, because that's what matters the most. The fact that when you come to your bike, you turn it on and it works, and that's worth more to me than anything. Any feature it's got, app it's got, anything like that with the fact that it turns on, because I don't be wondering if it's going to turn on before I go for a ride. Okay, so the weather's come in, which is afternoon for the area around Todmorden. I'm just going to do a little descent by its crappy conditions. But we'll see what this little light old bear feels like. And the tyres aren't the most chunky, if I'm honest. I don't have any confidence in the grip yet, but it's dead playful because it's so light. Okay, we'll go over A. Can't be to take a decent, can you? Absolutely not. That seems to be a bit grip on here, which is good. I was saying that. Oh, beautifully done. Beautifully done. So, we concluded today's ride. Not sure how many miles we've done, not a lot, but I'm absolutely buggered on this bike. Fortunately for me, Broski's been on it when it's got really steep, and I've had to do on the full power, so that's given me a bit of a rest. But how many miles have you done, bro? Nearly 18, bro. Nearly 18, so I've no clue about the battery life on this. Been told that the light comes on at 30% and it goes red. It's not red yet, so I've no idea, but I do believe it's 325 battery, so battery consumption on it is really good. On the flats and on the downs, it's absolutely great. Really nice bike. But on the ups, probably because I'm not the fittest in the world at the minute, and I am old and I'm heavy. So all that combined means I struggle on the ups. Ooh, don't like these tyres. Oh, really. Well, at least I didn't come off that time, so that's good. Thank you. Yeah, I like the bike. Bike's grand. Just wish I had my bike. But it is what it is. It's what we come up with. Like I said, not convinced at all with the Bosch Gen 4 at all. Yeah, I just don't believe we should release a product when it don't work, unless it's just me. I'm sure anybody else is going to find out after they watch this video and just comment. However, I do know one of my good mates who has the smart system, and he's had problems with it already. So, we'll see. We'll see. I hope it gets fixed, but it has put me off enough to not want this Bosch system. Good though it is, and like I say, I think the motor's absolutely superb. The battery range is fantastic, but none of that matters if it don't work. And it don't work. And that's the problem. That's the problem I've got. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Should be getting it back midweek. That's what they said. They said for part to come. Hopefully that's the case. Oh, I'm absolutely totally shattered now. Not used to this low power stuff, but I'm sure it's done me good. Only got a little bit to go. Drag down, it's fairly handy, very light. Just don't have the stability of the big boys. Right. Oh. Okay, last one of the evening. This is a little track at Earthwood. You know, it's absolutely shocking, but we'll give it a bit of a go. I'm not a big fan of these bloody tyres either. Apparently that slide I had previously was massive. Roasty saw it and he said yeah, it was a big one. But slides are okay when it grips again. We get right into him side knob to open to the job. A lot of people slip here because they don't take it over as far. No way. I'm sure they put that on there to stop people straight lining that. Someone made a tabletop out of it. Needs to be a little bit dry for me to be able to tabletop that though. So yeah, all in all I've had a bit of a whinge. Not changed my mind about the Bosch. Absolutely not impressed with it. This bike's grown on me. I'm just too big and too unfit for it. Is the issue riding with my bro, who's absolutely fresh as daisy, and I'm absolutely fucked. That's where I can put it. Absolutely a big advocate for mud guards as well in the present climate. Can't see much out of my eyes. Must have been about a ton of bloody mud. As long as it was mud and not the other, like dog eggs, it will be fine. But yeah, many thanks to Mountain Bike Monster to lending me this and enabling me to get out, because I would have been Mr. Cranky Pants without it. You all know a good mountain bike ride absolutely sorts your head right out. Oh, I think what that was. It's like it's a buggy jumping thing. And that's a tree. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching and cheers dudes.